Tara Hamilton, here to teach you how you can incorporate your 5 fruits and vegetables into your day in just one meal. Today we're going to teach you 2 fantastic recipes. One is a fruit parfait or a fruit crisp with strawberries and nectarines, and we're going to top it with a delicious crumble. The second recipe is lettuce wraps. You've seen them before, and we're going to teach you how to make an easy filling using vegetables that you'll love. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. So if you had that for lunch or for dinner, you would get your 5 servings of fruits and vegetables. Doesn't that sound great? And this is something that the kids can help you make. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right to it. What we're going to start off with is our nectarines. And if you've got some fruit, you don't quite know what to do with it, or it's getting a little bit old, that's okay. We started off, and we usually cut away any of the parts that aren't quite perfect. And this is still stone fruit season, so take advantage of it because soon we're going to be into our citrus. And then we're going to be wishing for the days of our plums and our nectarines and our peaches and our pluots. We also have this fantastic peeler, and it's not just a regular potato peeler, it's actually a fruit peeler. We get it at Cresco, and that's a restaurant supply store down at Van Ness and 41. And it peels the skin on peaches, on nectarines, and on plums and pluots. Fantastic. Look at that, just in one quick peel. So we started off today with 3 nectarines. We're going to use a little bit more nectarines than we are of our strawberries, because nectarines tend to be a little bit cheaper. We do always recommend that you get your fruit organically grown and locally grown. Those would be the 2 things we would suggest. So now we have our 3 nectarines. A really nice way of cutting your nectarines is to just cut straight into the center. Now your next cut is going to be at an angle, because what we don't want is to have the color of the core. And if we cut straight down, then we're going to get it all the way down to the pit. This way our nectarines or our peaches retain their beautiful color. And yes, you end up with a little bit of fruit around your pit, but not too much. And then we're going to do the same thing. Remember, straight down and then at a bit of an angle so that we're not cutting all the way down to the pit. And you can do it fairly quickly to start to learn how to do it. We don't want our slices to be too large because we're not cooking our fruit. So typically in a peach pie, then we'll start off with fairly large slices, and by the time they cook down, then the slices won't be very large. But in raw food, we're not cooking it down except by massaging it. So we start off with pretty pieces, the kind of slice that you would put in your mouth in one bite. Now what we tend to do with our fruit is we want to make the fruit release its water. When you bake a pie, you know that the fruit is going to release its juice, and so we make up for it. What do? We add pectin, or we add flour, or cornstarch, something like that. In raw food, because we're not going to be cooking it down, we add just a little bit of sugar. And the sugar that we use is coconut palm sugar. Coconut palm sugar is only 37 on the glycemic index. It's much lower than agave or stevia, and it's a natural sugar. So it's not bad for you. It won't spike your blood sugar. And then we massage it. And you probably can't see, so there we go. We'll tilt the bowl. And by massaging it, usually I scoop underneath and I go like this. And what we're trying to do is encourage our nectarines to release their juice, because we don't want our parfait to have juice dribbling down and making our crumble wet. Okay, now we're ready to work on our next fruit. We've decided to go with strawberries. If it's a little bit later in the season and you want to do apples and pears, go ahead. But right now we do have nectarines and strawberries in season. We have this nice little strawberry core. You may have seen it before. If you don't know how to use it, you kind of dig in a little bit and it takes out the whole stem. I like to do that because then you get real strawberry flavor. So we do that fairly quickly. This is a 1 pound pint of strawberries, and for 1 serving we have the 3 nectarines, and we're going to go with probably 1/4 of that pint. So we have 3 nectarines, that's your 3 servings of fruit, and we have 2 servings of strawberries in the 1 cup. What I like to do with my strawberries, my son says that it's a pretty heart shape. If you've got your strawberry like this, some people are tempted to cut along this way, but that doesn't give you a pretty heart shape. So we cut this way, and then you're going to end up with a pretty bowl all full of semi heart-shaped strawberries. All right, so we do the same thing here. and probably like just a tablespoon of sugar for that much, not very much. And I'll show you. So the strawberries are this color right now, and when we start massaging them, just like when you cook food, the color of your fruit will get darker. See? And look at the color difference between our massaged strawberries and the ones that aren't. Okay, so this is called a sieve, and what we're going to do is we're going to dump our strawberries into our sieve and just let the sieve sit inside the bowl. Sometimes I shake it up a little bit like this, and you'll start to see that it starts to drip that juice. And then for the nectarines, we're going to do the same thing. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to make the crumble. We don't use any flour in our cafe. All of our dishes are wheat-free, soy-free, and dairy-free. So to make our flour-like consistency, we're going to go ahead and use almonds. These almonds come from Sherman Thomas Ranch. They're wonderful. They're in Madeira, local, fresh almonds. Nothing could be better. So for our crumble, we're going to go with 1 cup of almonds, and we're going to add an equivalent amount of unsweetened, organic coconut macaroon cut flakes. Okay, so that's 1 cup. We have our 1 cup of almonds, 1 cup of coconut flakes, and 3/4 cups of sugar. And we're going to go ahead and let our fingers do the work. Perfect. And so it has a very flour-like consistency. Now we want to go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of water. 1, 2. And that'll just make it stick together. Now if you notice, it seems to be all balling up together. That's what you want. So if you added 2 tablespoons and it's not quite doing that, maybe your almonds were a little drier than mine, add another tablespoon. Don't add too much at once. Okay. And now we have a nice sticky, not too sticky, but it sticks together. And that is our crumble, and it smells heavenly. That coconut palm sugar, not only is it low glycemic, but it tastes amazing. And you can use it in any recipe that you have. It's the only kind of sugar that you really should be using, coconut palm sugar or rapadura. Those are natural, unprocessed sugars that are actually good for you. Okay, so are you ready to assemble our parfait? We take a little bit of crumble and we put it at the bottom, and then we take our nectarines, and I bet you want to know how much juice was released. Look at that, quite a bit. And even when we take our nectarines now, you want to take a few of them, put them in the bottom so they look nice and pretty. I use about half of them right now. There you go. And then crumble. We want to layer it so it looks really pretty. And it's nice because our crumble has got a lot of protein in it. So if this was your breakfast, or even if you wanted this to be your complete lunch, you would be okay. And we're going to top it with a beautiful crumble. There we go. Isn't that the prettiest parfait? And how long did it take? Hardly anything. We've got our parfait, our nectarines, parfait, our strawberries, parfait, nectarines, and then parfait again. And then go ahead and get one of those decadent Sunday spoons, and you're all set to go. A dessert that's healthy for you, and it doesn't have to be a dessert. A lot of people ask me why I start my shows off with desserts. So I'm going to tell you the answer. The answer is that our digestion wants liquids first. So if you're drinking juice, and of course I recommend fresh pressed juice, you would drink that, or your water. And then after that, you eat your fruit, because fruits per calorie have more energy than any other food. And it only takes your body 20 to 30 minutes to break down fruit. So when there's a little valve in your stomach, and it closes once you start to eat fruit, or start to eat anything. But fruit, it can go through really quickly, your digestive tract can. And it gives your body energy so that it can continue to go ahead and process the rest of the food you're about to eat. So don't save your fruit for dessert when you've got all this other food in front of it, so that the fruit sits there and kind of ferments in this liquid and the other food that you have. In a 7-layer dip, you would never put the sour cream at the bottom, and so it's the same thing. Don't ever put your fruit last, where it has to wait to be digested. Eat your fruit first, and who doesn't want to do that? So there, I think you pretty much saw that we used 3 servings of nectarines, and we used almost our full 2 servings of strawberries. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to teach you how to make your main entree. And your main entree are going to be lettuce wraps without the meat and without the cheese, but with all the flavor that you want.